Ex-Witch talks about how Hollywood uses witchcraft in their films.
You know, they recreated that movie, The Craft, in 2020.
Really?
They recreated the movie and they invited real witches on the set, and they had the witches before they would do a scene to cast spells and to invite the actresses to come into this circle with them while they were releasing spell words over the viewers and over the scene. And they broadcast it and wrote articles like, isn't this amazing? We're getting real and raw with these real witches. And people are playing it in their home, and it's entertainment. And, you know, Charlene, I always say the first part of entertainment is enter. So be careful what's entering your...
People probably thought I was very crazy when I told them that they're actually putting spells out on TV. When I say spells, I mean like the witchy spells, like the ones that cast curses and stuff like that. So one of my favorite shows was The Originals. It still kind of is one of my favorite shows, but that's neither here nor there. And, you know, it's a lot of witchery in The Originals, okay? And ever since I was a little girl, I've always loved like Twitches, Harry Potter, The Originals, Vampire Diaries, you know, stuff of that aspect. I love anything with mystical creatures, pretty much. But while I was in high school, I used to take Latin. Now, I only took Latin for one semester because it was a dead language. It was dead to me. I said, I'm not grasping what y'all putting down here. But I did learn, like, you know, the little endings, like the E, it's the it. Comos, I was talking about comos, estes, something like that. That's why I didn't take it. That's why I switched to Spanish. But I remember that. So I remember, like, years later, I'm sitting here looking at a show that was on Disney Plus at the time. And I noticed that they had the lady, you know, whoever the character was. I don't remember what show it was. It could have been Wizards of Waverly Place. It could have been anything. And she was saying a spell on TV. And I heard one of the endings. I said, ooh, that sounds familiar. Because I've always thought that when people cast spells and stuff on TV, like, you know, the writers just write up words. Not even like real words. Like, they just making something sound good. Like, it sounds like it's Latin, but it's not Latin. Whole time, these people actually using spells on TV. And when I say spells, I mean real spells. You ain't got to believe me, but watch what I'm finna put in here.
When I was the writer's assistant, I wrote the chants. And I would go online and, like, look up spells. I was like, why not? And then I'd, like, change a couple words. I'd go and I'd like, figure out a spell.
But you see what I'm saying? They literally will sit there, take the stuff that they see on the internet. They don't take it too serious. They don't really respect the other spirits and stuff that's really out there. Just because you don't take it seriously does not mean that it's not serious. And in that same clip, she said that an actual witch from New Orleans called her like, yo, you're playing with fire. And I don't think you understand the type of fire that you're playing with. And she just laughed it off, chuckled it off. And she told her straight up, you're putting curses across people's TVs all across America. So I say all of this to say, if you ever been one of them people that sit there and they like to look at that stuff, because I know I am. But don't be surprised when stuff like to go bump in the night. And you like, what's going on? I haven't been doing anything. It's not about what you've been doing. It's about what you've been watching, what you've been listening to. But listening to, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day, honey. All in all, just guard your ear gates, your eye gates, you know, because it leads to your soul. And not only that, you putting all of that in your house. Just keep the Lord with you at all times, and you'll be all right. Oh my God, glue in my hair. But you get what I'm saying.
Papa Legba is not just a character that they made up on American Horror Story. He's a real spirit according to Haitian voodoo. So when Gabourey Sidibe, who plays Queenie in Coven, had to summon him on the show, she was a little nervous because she was actually saying the phrase. She said that when she was filming the scene, the light fixture in the room started shaking and her back went out. They shot at a different angle and the light fixture crashed to the floor. When they continued shooting, she said she felt a finger move up her chin to her lip and then her lips started to swell. When she was sitting in the makeup chair waiting for the medic, she and the makeup artist said they heard scratching from outside. as if someone was trying to get in. Her Catholic friend gave her a prayer to banish the devil, and all the weirdness stopped for a while. In the final episode of Coven, Sidibe, along with the rest of the girls, had to chant the phrase again. The girls were having a little trouble with the pronunciation of the phrase, so Sidibe reluctantly said it again. After she said the lines, she felt a finger run from the top of her forehead to her upper lip, which then swelled up. Kinda creepy if you ask me. So do you believe her story? Let me know. Also, follow my
Discernment is a crazy thing. I used to watch this series called The Originals and Vampire Diaries, and I would binge watch. I was obsessed with the vampire, werewolf, witchy stuff. But whenever they'd say the spells, I'd mute my TV because it just made me feel really uncomfortable, didn't want to hear it. But at this point, I didn't know that what they use in Vampire Diaries, Harry Potter, The Originals, are real spells. And I found out because the witches of social media were going off about it, and these witches were calling out the producers or whatever about it, because they're saying, what are you doing? Like, you're literally putting curses and spells in the middle of random people's living rooms who know nothing about any of this stuff. They're real spells. And I was like, there goes the discernment. That's what it was. But Harry Potter is really the one that shocked me, the fact that there's real spells in Harry Potter, because it's literally a childhood favorite. Obviously, I've prayed, I've renounced anything I came into agreement with, but now it's made me so vigilant, because there's so many, even on Netflix, there's so many children's movies that are based around witchy spells, and I just won't let my son watch, because how do I don't know if they're real spells or not. So you just can't watch any of it. Sorry.
Do not watch this movie. It's got real black magic rituals inside. I just played the trailer in my bedroom and I wish the record button was on. I jumped out of bed. I never get scared, and the light was off and I was like, ooh, let's see what this is about. I love a bit of horror. Played it, I freaking panicked. I jumped up, I nearly fucking wet myself. I was like, oh my god. So anyway, they're using hidden messages in reverse audio. I felt honestly like something supernatural came into my room. If you want supernatural entities to come into your house, watch this movie. I can just picture myself the way I jumped up before. I don't fucking work out like that in the gym. It's good if you want a good workout. Do not play this. Raise awareness. Don't bring this into your homes. Serious talk now. If you really, really want to ruin your homes, then play this shit. Don't play these kind of movies in your homes. They're out there to put black magic in your thoughts and give ideas to people. Don't be playing this. Do not be playing this. Raise awareness. Boycott this shit.
I've been saying this for ages. Not only do they put real spells in the movies, but they do real rituals. So a lot of time whenever you fall asleep watching a movie, you are literally getting put a spell on while you are in the spirit realm because you're sleeping. And another thing too, in music, they also do rituals and spells in the music, for one, to target certain audience, and also to make the music go viral and all that. So glamour spells and all that stuff. But it's worse with music, because when you're listening to it, you're being put in a certain frequency. It can be a low vibrating frequency or a high vibrating frequency, depending on the music that you listen to. And that is why sometimes you will hate a song the first two times, and then all of a sudden you'll start liking the song, and now you cannot get it out of your head. That is the reason. And another TV show that I tell you that they put spell in, and also like different witchcraft, is Dahmer. The show Dahmer with Jeffrey Dahmer. That show, I would not recommend even letting your children watching that show. First of all, your child should not be watching that show. But because they have so much stuff, if you guys pay attention, I've never actually seen the entire show. Once I started watching it, as someone who is into all that stuff and enjoy watching shows like that, not Dahmer, but definitely like witchy shows. But Dahmer I could not watch because it was just too much. There was, next to his bed nightstand on the first episode is the Satanic Bible. A lot of people never even noticed that. But Dahmer is very, very filled with a bunch of like demonic sigils and demonic, you know, signs and symbols and stuff. But definitely the music, and also a lot of the witchy TV shows like The Chilling Adventure of Sabrina. I know for a fact they do a lot of rituals in there and real spells on that one. I love that show. I have to watch it so many times, but it's because I know, and I go in there with an open mind and I know what to look for. But people who don't know, they don't know how to shut it off whenever they're done watching that show. So be careful what you watch on TV because you could be putting spells on yourself. Be careful. Talk to you.
Now, the trauma that I'm facing right now is actually not it. I just found out that in the Vampire Diaries, the writer was using actual witchcraft. And here I was watching this show and watching it as I went to sleep whilst curses and those ladies were banging Judge in the background. Like, we need a Class A action suit. And in the video I'm about to insert, what really pisses me off, to top it off, is how she's cackling about it. And I'm here sat thinking, sis, now I have to go on a 20-day pilgrimage fast to get rid of whatever Juju bangs. Like, this was so bad, guys, to the point where a witch in New Orleans had to contact the writers and say, what are you doing? What are you doing? Nah, I'm fuming.
Season 1, when I was the writer's assistant, I wrote The Chance. And I would go online and like look up spells. I was like, why not? And then I'd like change a couple words. I'd go and I'd like figure out a spell. And then like go and change a couple words to French and a couple words to like Creole, a couple words to like Haitian Creole. Or you can do Google Translate. You do Google Translate to Haitian Creole. And then I'd like throw some Latin in. I was just like making some spells. And then we got a call from a woman in New Orleans who was like, I think that you're playing with fire. I think that you're, you know, what are you trying to do? You're putting these spells in everybody's living room all across America. Like, we were like cursing everybody to watch the show. And then I started